Side of this break.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. In the second quarter, they were easily the better team. The points started coming for them in bunches, and they built a 6-point lead by halftime. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, they showed a lot of discipline on offense, called some high percentage plays. Even when the defense devised different looks, they always seem to have the answer. That's good coaching.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Celtics?
Ernie, they're taking way too many threes. The offense has no rhythm. They need to go back to the drawing board. Maybe try to get a little bit more transition, more off the pick and roll. Anything other than shooting that three. It's not going.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
The short break and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
I don't think anyone in this building saw this coming. I'm sure that of the players who these fans thought would beat them, his name was not at the top of the list. That's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. See you later. By 2. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. They stepped up their game in the second quarter, and the score began to tilt in their favor. It's now a 7-point lead for them here at the half. Hey, big fella, what's your take on New York so far?
Well, they were really in attack mode. The most telling stat is how many times they got to the free throw line. They weren't all afraid to get their hand and get those elbows dirty. You know I'm a specialist when it comes to the elbows, Ernie.
And over to Kenny, your takeaway on the Lakers.
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
Of our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Wraps it up for Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you next time. Up one, live from Little Caesars Arena. You're watching 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. In the second quarter, they were easily the better team. The points started coming for them in bunches, and they built a 6-point lead by halftime. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, their reserves showed up tonight, not just on hustle plays, but in points. And that's what you got to do coming off the bench to maximize your minutes.
Shaq, what'd you think about the Pistons?
Well, this is a close game. Every point matters. Right now, they're not getting to the line much. To win this kind of matchup, you got to be the aggressor. You got to be, you just got to be aggressive. Let's just see if they can ramp up their intensity, Ernie.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
By 4. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway.
Use as little time as possible here. If they can get a bucket before the clock hits 24 seconds, they can try for a stop on the next possession. If there's less than 24, then they'll have to foul.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone. Leading by a point. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We saw LaMarcus Aldridge lighting it up in the first half. He had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive boards. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than forcing a miss and then giving up a second attempt. The offensive glass is going to pay big dividends for them.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Their shooting rhythm was off, under 40%. Some of that was shot selection. Some of it was the defense stepping up. My guess is we'll see some significant changes as things get going in the second half. Increasing off-the-ball activity, making the extra pass, and trying to get better looks.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
The action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Miles Turner.
And he's put on a terrific show of skill in the paint. A combination of moves, footwork, and that soft touch down low. It's all added up to one dominant performance for the big fella.
Yes, that'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.